1540 service to Shrewsbury, good platform platform 5. Calling this Coventry, Birmingham International, New Street, Sandwell Bradley, Wolverhampton, Wellington, and Shrewsbury. Passengers to the National Express Centre, Airport, and Leicester. Passengers for Cavallo, Church, Durham, and Wrexham Central, stations to Aberystwyth, and Shrewsbury. For their Sunday service, and lunch refreshments and drinks. Platform 5, 1540 service to Shrewsbury.
Hello, hello. It's good to see you. Thank you for meeting me here. Have a seat. Yeah, I love this place. You can get things to eat, but I come here for the tea. On this page here, we have blacks, greens, whites, oolongs. I don't know all the names of them, but there are some recommended blends on the menu here. And there's some herbal blends on this page here. But on the back, you can look through every single ingredient that they have and mix and match your own. It's an impressive list, I know. I almost ordered this Aztec Dream herb right here just because of the name. But the server informed me it's quite astringent. Not really in the mood for that, so I just went with my staple ginger lemon honey. Guess I'm here for a flavor. If you want to order something, it's going to be probably 10 minutes or so at least. So you have some time to look it over and think it out. The person you order from prepares your tea personally. He knows how to do everything. Well, actually, he does everything. So server isn't the right word for him for sure. Tea master maybe is more accurate. I just ordered, so you'll have some time before he'll get back. Now, in our last session, we explored the connection between hypnosis and relaxation. I'd like you to recall that session now. Specifically, the preparations that you made before your journey into relaxation. You may get a sense that there's no one right way to prepare for hypnosis. In fact, one can enter the hypnotic state from a myriad of different ways. And while I may suggest lying down, limiting distractions, etc., the hypnotic state can just as easily be entered while standing up or on a train, for that matter. A sudden cell phone ring or a dog barking could just serve as a reminder for you to go deeper, if that's how you prepare. You may begin to appreciate how interrelated and entwined the preparations for hypnosis are with hypnosis. How they are in hypnosis. How your preparations can have a dramatic effect on the hypnotic state. How your attitude and intention affect how and what manifests in the hypnotic state. Preparations can be done mentally, or they can be done physically to put those preparations into motion in your surroundings. Physical presence can be utilized as a powerful reminder, as a symbol of intent. So maybe you are seeing why I asked you to meet me here. This place is all about preparations. And what I like most about this place is the fact that the proof is undeniable. You can simply taste the difference. Each tea is steeped for a specific time at a specific temperature. Ingredients are sourced carefully, and fresh ingredients are prepared at the last possible moment. Ingredients are blended with an understanding and attention of how they will affect each other. And there's something about this place being on a moving train, don't you think? Last time I was here, the tea master was explaining how the trip itself affects the tea in subtle ways. The jostle of the train needs to be accounted for because of the subtle stirring that takes place. and certain portions of the route are bumpier than others. Even the change in elevation from the plains to the mountains affects how long he steeps the tea, because it can take less time for the water to cool down. And in the time it takes to prepare this tea, we will have traveled miles. So this session is all about preparation, because soon you will feel ready to enter the temple. And I want to let you know what to expect so you can begin to prepare. The temple is basically an empty room filled with pillows and blankets. Only one person is allowed in at a time. And you enter the temple for one purpose only: to dream. A few more things that you need to know. The dream is very specific. The dream will reveal some sort of insight into your healing, into your journey. Some important information around your current health state will be in that dream. I'm being rather vague here because I want to remind you that information can come in any form. Perhaps hazy images, snippets of information, or a vivid, rich conversation with another. Maybe it's a feeling, a symbol, or a list of instructions. Sometimes it can be a critical insight, as important as a self-diagnosis. Maybe it will just be encouraging, affirming, whatever it might be, I don't know. But that is why the temple is there. And to get ready to enter the temple, there are a few more things that you should know. One relates to why we are here. It is traditional to drink a special tea, prepared carefully by yourself prior to entering the temple. Now I'm going to let you in on a secret here, and some people might disagree with what I'm about to say, but there is nothing magical about tea. It could be water, or some food, or any other kind of ceremony that you put the magic into. It is important that it contains your intent, the seeds of that dream. And when you do that, when you begin to welcome the dream, the temple doors will open and welcome you. There is no need to decide right now what your preparations will be. Of course, you might already know, as these things kind of have a way of deciding themselves, I guess. One last thing about the temple, though. I'm telling you all this now because nobody will be in there with you. There's a small slot at the back of the temple that accesses the other side of the stove, the one you saw when you got the massage. The old woman keeps the fire going all night, so that's taken care of. Next to the little slot in the back of the stove are strips of paper and a pencil. If you can't sleep, you take whatever is on your mind, write it on the paper, open the small slot, and slide the paper into the fire, whatever it might be. All your worries, concerns, blames, emotions, angers, thoughts, symbolize them on the paper and then into the fire. If you do not burn everything that may be blocking your dream, you will simply not have the dream. And if you do not dream, you simply symbolize the block burn it up and try again. There are no limits to how long you can spend in the temple, and you can come back night after night after night until you have your dream if you need to. Most people, having done their preparations, have the dream that very night. Whenever your dream comes, and however it comes, after you have your dream, it is time to take what you've learned and utilize it. Until you have done that, the doors will no longer open. As you sit and glance out the window, the countryside scrolling by, as if a film is playing. How long have you been on this train? For 20 miles? How fast are you going? Looking off into the horizon, the further you look, the less things seem to move. A tree next to the track brings your attention. Progress is a strange concept. Usually people define it as a movement towards some goal. Yet we can make progress here on the train without even knowing where we're going. We can feel the momentum, just as everything you have done up to this point has led you towards the temple. After that, who knows where you will go? As I shrug my shoulders, you look out the window again. The click-clack of distance ticking by. Farmland, sparse trees, a truck on a dusty gravel road leaving a plume. Far below the puffy clouds, a few houses, small pond, fenced fields, cows, more trees. The landscape has gotten hilly. Your attention returns to our small table. My tea has arrived, and I'm holding it with both hands under my nose, taking in the scent. This guy really knows his stuff. I like to come here just to glean his secrets. For instance, take a look how full this cup is. See that? 3/4 of an inch below the rim. Yeah? Last time I ordered it, it was just a 1/2 inch below the rim. And I think I know why. The last time I ordered it, I was in the plains. And at that point the tracks were really smooth. This time, I ordered it during a bumpier portion of the route, so I think he gives the tea some extra space. You might think I'm a little crazy, maybe I'm reading into things a little too much, but maybe not. The man already admitted that he changes his preparation based on the bumpiness of the route. But there's more. Here, feel the cup. Just barely warm, right? Well, the tea itself is much too hot to drink. If I take a sip now, it'll burn me for sure. And I'm not just someone with a sensitive palate or something like that. It simply would burn anyone who takes a sip right now. Someone who knows tea knows that this is too hot to drink. And while the tea is that hot, right, this thick cup hasn't even gotten hot. It's just barely warm. So he must brew the tea in some separate container and then pour it into this cup just before bringing it out. And now watch this. If I set the tea down, you see that? The liquid jostling around? Let's just wait for a good bump. There. You see that? Just about spilled, right? Well, the only thing to do is pick it up and hold it. To try and steady it, right? So it doesn't spill. When you pick it up, it ends up close to your nose. Too hot to drink, and you can't set it down. The cup slowly warming your hands as the heat seeps through. So all you can really do is smell it for a few minutes before you can even take the first sip. It forces you to slow down. The jostling of the train, the balancing act of making sure it doesn't spill. All that brings your attention to the tea, and all you can do is smell. Don't believe me? I bet if you order a drink right now, it will come with an inch of space below the rim. Things are going to get bumpier in a moment, up in the foothills. Oh, but wait. You know what? You won't be able to order tea just yet. In fact, check this out. I can tell you precisely when you'll be able to order. You see how he's standing there? In front of the kitchen, just like he's waiting for something. He knows you're here, right? That you haven't ordered anything. He brought me the tea right in front of you. And he just slipped off without asking you if you wanted anything. Now, some might consider that just poor service or something, right? Well, it is kind of strange. This is what he does for a living. And do you know what he's doing right now? He's watching me. And he's going to keep watching until I take the first sip. He's not going to move until then. Just after studying my reaction to the first sip, then he will come over and ask me how the tea is. And if I'm happy with it, only then will he move on to the next customer. Ready? Okay, here goes. Good, wow.
And how is your tea, sir?
Excellent, excellent. I appreciate your tea more and more each time. You know, oh, I've never asked. What's your position? What do I call you? Tea master, guru, sensei?
Call me Joe. Would you like to order something?
As you think of your response, your attention turns inward into your awareness, and that momentum keeps going, turning further and further in, fascinated by your own depth. In a few seconds, you find yourself deeply relaxed within your sanctuary, finding yourself resting in the grass under the shade of a small tree. The dancing sparse light that manages to make its way to you through millions of miles of space, through the atmosphere, through the swaying sea of leaves, and warming the back of your eyelids. You imagine this tree now, large and grown, a perfect place to stop and rest during your journey, a perfect place to journey towards, to celebrate simply being. You begin to see the branches above you now swaying in the breeze. Could this be your tree? Could it be this big already? You begin to look around the landscape. Things seem familiar. Mountains off in the distance, the grassy field. The path is a little different again, but there's a similar sign. Turning now, you see the temple in the distance. Looking back up at the tree, nearly full size already. You notice a large branch, half broken, hanging on right inside the center of the tree, splintered, leaves dead and brown. And suddenly you see yourself in front of a set of tools, picking up a handsaw now, and your back cutting carefully. Removing some of the weight, the strain from the split, each cut taking off a portion that you can remove easily, with some twisting and spinning, a puzzle being undone piece by piece, seeing the next portion of the branch, cutting it off, while supporting it with your other hand and guiding it carefully out, caring for all the other branches along the way. Left with just a stump next to the split in the forked branch, seeing the proper angle in your mind, cutting close and clean, allowing it to heal from all directions. Done now, brushing the sawdust away with your hand and a quick back at the shed, brushing off the saw. Dead branches already broken into smaller pieces and scattered around the base of the tree. Washing your hands now as you rinse them off, looking down into the pool, seeing your reflection, hearing the waterfall. Stepping into the pool, wading into the waterfall, back under the waterfall now, feeling the power rush around you, strong, confident, free-flowing, washing over you, eyes closed, feeling that strength, that power, cupping your hands before you, catching the water in your hands, feeling the pressure of water in the palms, imagining yourself before the temple doors now, having made your offering to yourself. All of your preparations until this point, going on this journey, entering your sanctuary, committing the time and energy to yourself, taking what you found along the way and turning it into guidance. Guidance from and to your own self. Making the steps, putting them into action, feeling the impact of your attitude, finding your way, continuing, moving, a cycle of appreciation, gratitude, rushing around and through you, spinning and vibrating around your center, deep, caring, and relaxed. About to enter the temple, every step you have taken leading to this big release. Pausing now with a big exhale, and coming back to your waking awareness on the count of 5, slowly coming up, up, up. 4, feeling your next steps now. 3, knowing the next time you listen, you will be prepared to enter. 2, the temple awaiting your next visit. 1, eyes opening now, taking a big breath and stretch. Now in the next session, you'll be already inside the temple, lying down and inviting your dream. I suggest having a pen and paper close by. The next session will have no introduction, so it is up to you to prepare for your dream and enter the temple on your own, taking all the time you need to make your final preparations and returning whenever you're ready, mentally, physically, and symbolically.